Let's Deprogram, the podcast where we try to get you into a band. As simple as that, we've done all the work. All you have to do is literally listen to us talk about it. Does that make you feel better? It makes me feel better. Today's band is Southern Culture on the Skids. My name is Justin, and I'm not sure if you guys know this, but hard work does indeed work. Here's some updated info for you. I'm reading it literally as it is in my Slack channel. Hard Work Works fitness app. Search in your app store. Download it. I'm giving you instructions. I'm not sure if you guys know that either. I'm instructing you. Do this. Hard Work Works fitness app. Search in your app store. Just type in Hard Work Works. Then you download that jank. It's a free download. I can talk. Purchase membership for only $10 a month. Look, that's only $10, man. You know,
that's a bargain.
You can find that somewhere to get yourself in tip-top physical, because you know what you get for that $10 a month? I don't think I've done the live read with you yet, Jenny.
No. What do you get? Because I'm actually thinking about trying this. 3
new workouts every week, designed for minimal to no equipment at all.
That sounds good for me because I have nothing.
So the app is really cool. Actually, I'll show you. Like, I'll do this and then I'll show you. But Joe shows you how to do every exercise. So again, you don't you're basically getting a fitness trainer right there in your pocket.
Perfect. I don't have to leave my house.
You don't have to leave your house at all. 3 new workouts every week, designed for minimal to no equipment, all ages and ability levels. So like if you're like me and you can't do jack,
or like me, I get winded when I go up a flight of stairs.
See, you can literally work out anywhere in the world. So I mean, if we cleared out enough space, we could work out right here.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
We've got something else to do, Sam. We've got things to do. But I'll tell you this, there is zero. When I say zero, I mean zero like this. You guys can see it, but listeners can't. No long-term obligations. Cancel anytime. Keep all your workouts. How's that?
Nice.
For some reason, the $10 a month isn't working out for you. You're not enjoying the workouts that Joe is sending you. You know what? I'm done. No big deal. You're done. No contract. And on top of that, you get to keep your workouts. So all the workouts that you've already gotten at that point. So let's say after 1 week, you're like, well, you know what? Shoot, this just ain't for me. You get 3 workouts that you can do as long as you have the app. No big deal. And they're yours. Decide, commit, succeed, and hashtag join the hustle. Hard Work Works. Also, Joe's just a swell dude.
He is.
My buddy Joe Leone, he runs Hard Work Works, a gym in Virginia Beach. If you want to actually go to the physical gym, he's a personal trainer, and he will get you in tip-top physical. Just because I am not in tip-top physical yet does not mean that the app doesn't work. Well,
you don't live in Virginia Beach.
I don't live in Virginia Beach. And, I mean, in fairness, I haven't used the app as I should. But the few times I have, I am in love with this app. Now, where the hell did I put it? This is a hell of a sell, Justin. And, of course, nobody can see this, but come on! Oh, it's updating, which is perfect.
I think my biggest problem is that even if he gave me the exercises to do, I have baskets of clean laundry that I need to put away. That I need to lift those first. Like, is that an exercise equipment that I can put into my repertoire?
Yeah, possibly, probably. Also, in this app is like dietary. Like, it'll help you get your diet straight. And here, let me go to the workouts. I have no assigned workouts. That's not true. But body weight. He's got all these workouts designed for me and my body weight.
Okay.
Like, I can use my body weight as yeah, exactly. Planks and squat to sky reach.
I think that's great because I know for me and working out, like part of like having to make decisions.
Yes.
You know, about it, like what do I do exactly? Like even I just go on walks every morning, and I usually just like walk the same route, so I don't have to use my brain.
Yes.
6 o'clock in the morning, so that tells you exactly what you know what
you
have to do.
And it breaks up the routine. You don't have the same thing all the time. Like people used to do the exercise videos or something. And it's like, well, don't you get bored of doing the same Tae-Bo shit?
Yeah.
Well, even with DDP yoga, it's probably the best shape I've ever gotten in. It was when I was doing DDP yoga. But after a while, it's just like, yeah, okay.
And you need to vary it because I think, you know, your body kind of, I've noticed this over the years. Like if you do the same thing over and over again, your metabolism kind of adjust to it,
right?
And the next thing you know, you're not getting as I mean, it's better than doing nothing.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you're not getting a lot of benefit after like a year of doing exactly the same thing.
And that's true. And so that voice you heard coming to Deprogram for the first time, Sam McDonald.
That's right.
Sam,
My
thank you so much.
debut. Yes, it's good to be here. I've been with you in other settings, but first deprogrammed.
He came to write an article once on YMS, and in typical YMS fashion, we did YMS. And the come away was, it's like, what was it? Beavis and Butthead with, basically just an even more crude Beavis and Butthead.
Nice. That's
I was like,
accurate.
no, that's accurate. That's exactly what we do.
And it's fitting that I'm wearing my Your Music Show sweatpants today, stylishly.
Sweatpants. The other voice you heard coming back for the first time, we think, since Two Man Gentleman Band, Jennie Zell.
Hi.
You're here all the time.
Who are you?
But this is the first time you've done Deprogrammed in a couple months. To
Yeah.
be fair, literally after the last time, we probably started planning for Bell and Dubs.
Yeah,
So
I think it was early November or something like that. So it's been like steady.
Yeah, we've basically just been. Last night, the reason you crashed here because we were up until 3 recording Bell and Dubs stuff last night.
That's funny. I did wonder. It looked like I was walking into a slumber party. So
That's what it was. Yeah.
I wasn't gonna ask. Wasn't sure, but
Some people show up in pajamas. It's okay.
I mean, I would, and I have, and I will do it again.
And it will happen again. So, Southern Culture on the Skids is your baby. Like, you've been trying to get this to happen.
Literally since you got me on the show. Like, what did you say? It was 4 years ago?
Yes. It's been 4 years.
So I was on one of the earlier episodes of Deprogrammed. I was on the Foo Fighters one, and I immediately started thinking of all the bands that I wanted to talk about. And I think Blur was the first one that came up. I did something else, but like Southern Culture and the Skids was like probably like top 3 or 5 bands that I wanted to talk about, and I could never find anybody else that liked them. And I was like, I kind of gave up. Like, I honestly was like, I'm okay, whatever. Nobody will jump on board with me. That's fine. That's fine.
It's funny that you should say that. So, is it rude for me to ask on the air how old you are? Or you could tell
41.
me. Okay, yeah. So
Math.
I'm 54, and people around my age and a little bit younger, they especially over in Norfolk, they're like crazy about Southern Culture on the Skids. In fact, like a friend of mine who's almost exactly my age was visiting like a couple weekends ago, and we were taking a walk around the neighborhood, and they came up, because we were walking past this place that used to be Lewis's. I don't know if you ever saw them at Lewis's back in the day. But they had a regular gig there, and people still talk about those shows. I mean, like,
oh, wow.
repeatedly, they'll bring them up as, like, that was a great era when they used to play there regularly. Right. And I never got to see them. It was a little bit before I got here. I don't know when Lewis's closed, but it was on Collie Avenue, kind of.
I'm not familiar with that, so it must have been after my time too.
Yeah, so like my wife's friends, it's like a common theme,
right?
Southern Culture on the Skids.
So,
okay.
To that point, then this seems like a natural place for you to jump in first. Actually, so talk to me about your relationship with Southern Culture on the Skids.
Yes, so I go way back with them because I went to school at UNC Chapel Hill, which is where the band began. And so I got to Chapel Hill in 1984, and I don't know if they had started that year or a year or two before, but they were one of the big bands on the scene in Chapel Hill. And they kind of had a different sound at the time. They were a little bit more like the Cramps. It was a little more creepy and less funny. They had a different singer. Rick Miller he was just playing guitar and writing songs, and they had this guy who had a very low voice, kind of like Johnny. He was doing this Johnny Cash imitation. You gotta sound like this all the time, and they were kind of creepy. I mean, in a good way. Yeah. In a good way. So, like, I remember they played as part of this like local music festival at Carmichael Auditorium on the campus of UNC. Carmichael's was the basketball gym for the Tar Heels. And so I can remember standing in front and watching those guys play. And Rick Miller had this Fender Stratocaster and this big Fender amp, and he was getting these, crazy surf sounds out of his guitar. And I was just like bowled over. They also had, even back then, they had a female bass player, which, turned out to be, the thing. Yeah. And she sort of looked like Marilyn Monroe. She had like platinum blonde hair, and she wore these like long vintage dresses. And they were great in that incarnation too. And I remember their like tagline was "Rockabilly Surf Nightmare." So
that's the perfect way to describe them.
yeah. And so some of the sounds were the same. I mean, musically they didn't change that much. They just kind of over the years amped up the humor value and the kind of the southern kitsch element. But they were all, from the right from the beginning. They were a great band. A lot of that was down to Rick Miller's songwriting and that great guitar.
So what was it, Jenny, about Southern Culture on the Skids, like after that first time that you're like, no, I have to do this. This has to happen?
I basically I fell in love with this band like right from the first time I heard them. And I'm in the scheme of things, I'm kind of a newer fan. They came up on a Spotify Discover Weekly list, and half the time Discover Weekly serves up a hot pile of garbage. But honestly, I can't remember what song it was that came up, but I was like, whatever the hell this is, I need more of this. And I was going through a phase where I was listening to like a lot of rockabilly and psychobilly. Like I was listening to a lot of Reverend Horton Heat at the time and listening to the Cramps and stuff like that. So Spotify learns what you like and what you're into at that time, and that's what it gave me. And I'm like, it's like that, but it's a little bit more like Southern, and it's got that like this like white trash angle to it that I absolutely loved the everything about their sound. And they're not just in one place; they're like surf and they're country and they're psychobilly and like all this different stuff. And like whenever somebody's asked me to describe them, I call them the white trash B-52s.
Yes, that's an apt description.
Fair. Hearing these things from you guys makes me feel better about my analysis of the band, because you've already said all the things I had planned on saying about them. Southern White Trash was going to be towards the top of the list, and not in a bad way.
Yeah, it's a very fun label for them.
Absolutely. And then I was thinking listening to it reminded me of listening to Reverend Horton Heat and the Cramps, and I was like, okay, so it sounds like maybe my song selection might be off, but my view of the band was correct.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like to me.
Have you seen them live before?
I have not. Like, so this band was barely on the periph even for me. Jenny suggested it, and then that's the first time I'd even seen the name of the band. I think they've, maybe in the way, way, way back of my mind, I had heard of them somewhere, but pretty much zero.
Yeah, the name's, stands out because it's evocative. But, they had that period where they were on a major label, like for a couple of albums. They were on Geffen for a couple of albums, and that was a weird period in the 90s when I guess it was like post Nirvana, and a lot of weird bands were getting signed. So they didn't last a long time as a major label act. But I think it's like the live show, even though their records are great, and like doing this, going back and listening to all these records is just giving me an appreciation for how like solid their whole catalog is.
Yeah.
But I think it's like the live show that I know, like my wife's friends who I was kind of surprised, frankly, when I heard about people being excited about Southern Culture on the Skids, because I hadn't seen them actually since Chapel Hill. So I hadn't seen the new it's not new, but the new to me version of the band, and the whole thing with like fried chicken,
all the gimmicks that they do,
the gimmicks. So I didn't quite get it, and it's not that I didn't think that they deserved the attention, but I didn't quite understand. And then they played the Hampton Block Party years ago, and then that that kind of helped me. It's like, oh, now I can see, like, seeing that band in a little club. You know, they're playing their asses off. They sound great. They're funky and weird, and you know, Mary Huff is, you know, looking great, and you know, with her like the beehive or whatever she's wearing at the time. So you know, I think the live show, maybe more than the records, is the thing for a lot of people. But the records are great.
That was one of the first things I thought was like, as soon as I started really getting into their songs, I was like, I got to see them live. And I must have just missed them when I first started listening, because I ended up not being able to see them for like another like year or something. They come through town like probably once a year.
Something like that. Yeah.
I saw them in 2017 at Shaka's down at the beach for the first time. And so yeah, like, I mean, I was ready for it. Like, I kind of knew about some of the gimmicks and stuff, and you know, the whole fried chicken thing. I was like, this is amazing. I can't wait.
Well, that does make me think about, again, to compare it, they have longevity, and you brought up one thing I noticed here is there is no real drop in the quality of songs throughout the entire discography, which it makes this game hard to play because it makes the song selection infinitely harder.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I can respect a band that can be around this long and still put out an album that's just as great as all their earlier stuff.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm kind of in awe that they're able to. They've been able to stick around this long and keep the quality up high and keep the shows fun. I mean, it's hard. It's hard, and they're not making a shit ton of money.
Oh no.
But you know, they're doing what they love to do, and they're making it work. And I know Rick Miller runs a studio down in North Carolina, and maybe that's part of it too. He's, you know, getting some additional income from the studio and maybe some production work. But yeah, I'm really amazed that they've been able to keep up the quality over the years.
So to that note, you probably had your 20 pretty close, Jenny, like before we even...
Kind of, because I was trying to be an overachiever and like get the list ready before we, you know, even got to planning the show panel. So like I set up like my list like forever ago, like 3 years or whatever it was, or almost 3 years. But then we kind of like shuffled the album selection, and I did it at a time that like I thought it was going to be like all of the albums. And so I had to go through and like, you know, shuffle things out.
Well, and to be fair, I don't think we dropped much. Like two. Yeah,
we dropped the newest album, and we dropped some of the EPs. But I did have some of that. Like when I looked at my list, I was like, yeah, I actually got several things from the EPs. It happens.
So
I noticed that they've re-recorded songs over the years too, so that makes it a little complicated also. Cause
which version of the song do you want?
Right.
But to that point, Sam, being your first time here, what was it like selecting out 20 songs?
I mean, it was fun. I just went through the records that you mentioned, and you know, it's tough. I was kind of thinking about it from two different angles. They're my favorite songs, and then they're the ones that I think represent, you know, would be a good introduction to people who've never listened to Southern culture before. But it ended up being a lot of the same songs because, you know, really, if I want to get you into a band, you know, I want you to hear the songs that I love the most. So, you know, I didn't do too much eliminating based on just my personal, but there are probably a few that we'll disagree on, so that are like personal choices.
The good thing with a band like this is there isn't going to be anything in my head that goes, oh, this is the hit.
Right.
I can get rid of that. There's no need for that. There was zero of that. Now, again, having a very consistent catalog makes my song choice harder. I try to like narrow, well, here's something that they kind of do. Let me bring that in.
Right.
You know, I kind of gravitated more towards the white trash sound for them. Because as much as I love the surf sound, this is what they do well. And this was my biggest takeaway from them. So like I kind of gravitated towards that sound. So this is one of those episodes where the conversation we just had is much more important than whatever list we're going to come up with. It happens frequently with this show, but we will come up with something for 10. That being said, the name of the game is Deprogrammed. The three of us have combed through, I think, what did it boil down to? 7 records that we are going to now mash up against each other and try to create a top 10 starter kit for Southern Culture on the Skids for you to get into the band. And like I said, all you have to do is push play on this playlist and you'll be into the band just like that.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So this is, I was trying to like put a preference, like what's going to be my number one play. I don't know.
It's tough.
It is tough, but I want to go. We kind of mentioned the chicken a lot already, and we mentioned, just being Southern white trash. I feel like I got to go here. 8-piece box.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's a good consensus choice.
All right, one in the bag.
I mean, I think if we didn't have that song on the list, we should just pack it up and call this show quits, because that's like one of their biggest songs.
It's a signature.
Is it really?
It's definitely a signature song. So I think among fans, if you were to say what's the one song that would represent them, that would be it.
Well, that makes our work for later easier too. No, it was just the feeling I got, even though it's on that first record. It's just like afterwards when I came back to it, I was like, no, this is what they do. This is probably the best of what they do.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So
I'm really glad that you narrowed in on the their biggest hit, or not. I don't know if I'd call it a hit, but their signature
popular.
sound.
Yeah, like a popular live song, and it's got the themes like food and sex.
Yes.
The combination of food and sex.
Mm-hmm.
That's like a repeating. It comes up again and again.
I was gonna say, like, that's something that we talked about with Two Man Gentleman Band. Like,
yes.
It's funny that, like, one of my other favorite bands is how can you combine food and sex?
Yes. And drug use.
Yes. Except these guys are more about, like, moonshine and beer.
Yeah.
Moonshine.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we got one in. I feel good about that. So
that was a slam dunk.
I'm at least in the right place. All right, Sam. Let's see what you got.
Okay, so I'm just gonna be provocative right from the start. So from that same first album, I am proposing a song called "She Bought a Dog." So the reason I'm proposing it's probably not like in their top 10 most requested songs, but there's a story attached to it.
Oh.
So I was talking about the earlier version when Rick Miller didn't sing at all. Mm-hmm. And I can remember seeing him at Cat's Cradle, and Rick Miller stepped up to the mic, and he did this kind of country twangy song called "She Bought a Dog," and it was funny. Mm-hmm. And I heard his voice. I was like, oh, he's got a pretty good voice. That's interesting. And it was my first inkling that the band might change. And I was reading that, he wanted to bring more country into it, more of the Southern influences. And it was kind of a bone of contention with the other members of the band. I think they wanted to stay more rockabilly or more surf. And so that was just kind of a hint of the direction. And I heard it one time and it stuck in my head all these years. So I have to propose it.
Valuable information, but I don't have it.
I don't have it either. I'm sorry.
Vote it out. I kind of expected that. So.
If it makes you feel any better, it was absolutely in my first cut. Now where it dropped out, I can't remember. But it made it through that first pass of 50 or whatever it was. So.
And not that I'm arguing for it, because I'm already outvoted, but I will say that you kind of hear the character in that song. You kind of see the emergence of this character that he will develop later on. The redneck guy, the kind of hangdog redneck guy where everything's going wrong, and
I'm gonna have to go back and listen to that one again now that put it in that light, because I love a good character-based song.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not as funny as the later ones, but you could see elements of it.
Yeah.
All right, Jenny?
I don't know if this was the first song that I heard from them, but it's one of the earliest ones I remember, and it was when I was doing that freaking food challenge on Facebook where I had to eat a bunch of biscuits. I'm going with Biscuit Eater.
Yes, I've got that one.
Me too.
All
Yes.
right, another consensus.
Yeah. Actually, I had that as listed as my number 2.
Really?
Yeah. Actually, to be fair, I had it. I made the call here, like as we started.
Right.
Biscuit Eater was technically number 1.
I mean, yeah. So far, we've hit my number 1 and 2.
Yeah. So again, it just kind of fit right in line with what I thought about with the band, like afterwards, like, and I found myself kind of humming along, like just randomly throughout the day. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, so that's got to be one of the ones at least. It's got to be in the 20.
And
Yeah.
again, it's got that food and sex thing.
Exactly.
It's like, I don't know where that smell comes from. I just know I'm going to get me some.
Love a good innuendo.
Yeah.
Love a good innuendo. All right, well, we got 2 in.
All right.
Well, and this was another huge element that I picked out, so I'm going to come right out and say it. White Trash.
I remember looking at that one, but I don't know if it made it.
Yeah, I didn't have that one.
I don't have that one.
Into the trash. That's all right.
See, this is what I'm afraid of with this band is that they kind of, they have similar like themes throughout their catalog, and I feel like we're all going to be picking like the same types of things, but just dancing around.
Yep.
Different versions of the same thing.
Well, and we'll come up with 10. It'll happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're doing pretty well so far.
Yeah,
Compared to the Ween, I went back and listened to the Ween episode, and that was
Yes.
like, rough going.
It's funny. I just listened to that one again recently too, and it was like
You want to hear?
they're battling at the end.
You want to hear rough going? Depeche Mode.
Uh-huh.
We wanted to kill ourselves about halfway through. Like we could not hit on anything.
I mean, you were listening to Depeche Mode, so.
Also true. And the station was dying.
Oh,
So like there was a lot happening.
rip.
Yep. All right. So I missed Sam. You're up.
So let's see. So how do you guys feel about covers? Because they do a great job of choosing covers. So I have a cover on my list, but now I'm kind of ambivalent about whether we should be picking their own songs or covers.
That's
So-
your call, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
For me, if it's a good cover that they manage to make it seem like their own song, I never have a problem with it. I'll tell you this: it's rare if it's a cover and I can sense that it's a cover. It is rare that it'll get through for me.
Right.
So keep that in mind with your gameplay.
All right, I'll go ahead and throw it out there. So, Daddy was a preacher, Mama was a go-go girl.
Yep.
Okay, we got 2.
No, it didn't make it. I remember really looking hard at that one though.
So it's a
know-
maybe.
Yeah. Well, it makes it a conversation. Honestly, didn't realize it was a cover.
I didn't
I
either.
had to look. I had to look back to see. But in its favor, it's a Mary Huff vocal, which is an element. You got to have at least one, I would say,
Yes.
in the top 10. That's her. But maybe ideally it wouldn't be a cover. But anyway,
It's in the conversation.
Yeah.
If it becomes cut fodder later in a later round.
Yeah.
All right, Jenny.
I think I want to go with this one just because this may be my favorite song, even though I had something else as number 1 and 2. This is probably my favorite song is Mojo Box.
Yeah.
did I have Mojo Box? I didn't have it, but it is a good song.
All right. Put that in the conversation.
At
I
least
was
it made it through.
shocked how much I liked Mojo Box, the
Yeah.
album
Yeah,
specifically,
yeah.
but that song, because I figured at this point, you know what? Okay, it's got to drop at some point, right? Like the songs can't continue at
Nah.
this pace. No, like Mojo Box is a great record.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I was pleasantly surprised, and I initially pulled like a whole bunch through on that record, and then again we'll get to like the honing in, but no, Mojo Box definitely stood out for me. Okay, let's trot out some more white trash themes. My Neighbor Burns Trash.
Yes.
Oh no.
Into the convo. I couldn't stop laughing. Number
the-
one.
Yeah.
There are great lines in that song. Yeah, I just listened to that again. Was it yesterday? But yeah, I was cracking up at some of the lines in there. It's like a mighty fine way to screw up a really nice day, something like.
Just the theme alone, just thinking about my neighbor's outside burning trash. It's like, okay,
I'm gonna write a song about it.
yeah, that's just fun.
And there's like their holy rollers too. The lady is she's like a Bible beater and she burns trash. And
Oh, my God.
There's like a line at the end where like he says, I hope Jesus doesn't agree with her way of thinking. Basically, again with the white trash theme, he's kind of saying like I'm trash. I hope Jesus doesn't burn me, or it's like send me to the
Yeah, clever line.
Yeah.
All right, so you know what? Even the misses aren't like way off, so I'm feeling okay right now. All right, Sam.
So going to that major label period, I have Camel Walk.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do not have that one, but 2 makes it go.
That's kind of one of their signature songs that they do like every show. That, from what I can understand, anyway, like I've been to one, so I don't have a frame of reference.
Yeah, I think so. It's funny. The 2 times I've seen them in the modern era, they were not in clubs. It was at the Block Party, and then at the Oceanfront. They played with the Jayhawks at the Oceanfront, and so I don't feel like I've gotten the club experience. So maybe this show with Tornado Bait will give me a taste of like the mainline club experience, because I mean I don't think there was as much audience participation.
Those open spaces.
It's a little harder. I think it makes people more self-conscious too. There's probably a little less drinking, So I'm looking forward to this Elevation show.
Since you mentioned it, I mean, this will come out after that show happens, I think.
Oh, that's too bad.
How good a pairing is Tornado Bait and Southern
It's
Culture on
perfect.
Skids?
Like, I can't tell you. I was just telling somebody, I think last night, I was like, this is the most perfect thing that has ever happened.
It really is. And I mean, it's a little bit of bias, but like, even if I didn't know Missy from Eve, I guess would be the saying. It's like, it's a perfect marriage of sounds. So
Yeah.
I'm going to stop licking their ball sack here. But
No. They're
right.
amazing.
They are. All right, Jenny?
Shoot, where am I going to go next? I'll go with Liquored Up, Lacquered Down.
Yes.
Yep.
All right.
Oh, nice.
Another 3.
Blam.
3-chair turn.
Again, I just love a good like character, and it has a lot of cool visuals and stuff.
Oh my gosh, and the melody. That's I think Rick Miller is underrated both as a guitar player. Like you don't see him listed as like one of the great rock guitar players, but he's also like. I mean, the songs are just catchy.
Yeah.
And if it was just the white trash thing and it was just the shtick, I think they could probably have a decent career. But, these songs are like a lot of them are super catchy. They stick in your head. And that's, that's irresistible.
Important.
Yeah.
That's a perfect word for it. Irresistible. It is impossible to listen to Southern Culture on the Skids and not have fun.
Yeah.
Like it's just, it's a
mood,
really good time. So, all right. Well, so we got 3 unanimously so far, and 4 into the conversation. Once we get out of officially get out of NTP, I will feel a lot better. But we're steadily moving that way. I'm gonna keep trotting out. I think my white trash side here, double wide.
Yeah.
I don't have it. I'm really feeling not great about my list. Like you guys are matching, and I'm missing all of them.
Hey. It's bound to happen.
It's going to be me at the end just naming 10 songs in a row.
You're going to have to clear out with 10.
Yes.
Well, that double wide song, before I came over here this morning when I was thinking I had an extra hour, I was looking to make sure, because they do so many obscure covers, and that song is so good and has like such good like song craft to it. I thought it might have been a cover, like an old country song that I didn't know about. But no, he wrote it, and it does show his versatility, because like I could almost see that song in another like production being on commercial country radio.
Yeah, true. Absolutely. All right. So we got 2. Moves into the conversation. Sam?
So I'm going to go Banana Pudding.
I have it.
With the continuing the
Oh,
food
man,
theme.
I don't. I swear I thought I did, but
That was like one of the last ones I added. And man, that song, like, I didn't want to add it because something about it struck me as like really kind of corny that they're just singing about banana pudding. But I was like, I would just go around singing it all the time as I'm like going through my list. And I was like, you know what? It's so catchy. Like, I have to put it on the list.
Yeah, it's definitely one of their maybe cheesier, cornier songs, but it is super catchy, and I think it might be my wife's favorite
Okay.
Southern culture song. So
I mean, it's fun. It's banana pudding.
with the skin on top.
wait a second. Why am I not seeing it in my master list?
Uh-oh.
I remember listening to it. I remember having it until pretty late,
It's on Plastic Seat Sweat.
which I think is one of these blue ones. Huh. Well, I don't think I'm going to... There it is. There it is. Goes into the conversation. No, that one was like definitely a super late cut for me.
And
for all the same reasons we've kind of talked about already. But
And it's got the funky sound. So they have, the surf sound, they have the country sound, they have the rockabilly sound, and Banana Pudding's this kind of like southern funk
Yeah.
kind of groove that they're really good at.
all right, Jenny, we've got 9. You can get us out of
All right.
NTP here. No pressure.
You know what? I'm going to just ruin that for you on purpose.
You like giving me a heart attack.
I do. I'm going to go with Theme from the Cheaters because I love that, just that kind of swanky kind of sound, that surf sound.
So that's instrumental?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I do feel like, again, if you're going to introduce this band, I did not have Theme from Cheaters, but
Nor did I.
I had a couple of other instrumentals. I do feel like if you're going to introduce somebody to the band, the instrumental part
You have
Yeah.
to
should
have
be on
one.
there.
This is usually I try to only do like one instrumental at the most, but I think I had like 2 or 3 from this band, which I don't know how, like, because the lyrics are part of what makes it so much fun to me, but I found myself like really getting drawn to some of the instrumentals.
Well,
Yeah.
a lot of the earlier ones I cut just because they were instrumentals, which is unfair, but you have a big discography, you take the cuts where you can get them. And then when I realized that, no, this is kind of part of what they do, I was like, oh, man.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to... I was trying to listen to Nas and a couple other... Fall Out Boy, like a couple other bands at the same time, so it's like... It's an unfortunate cut,
Yeah.
but I think 1 or 2 probably made it through. Unfortunately, not that one.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Are you okay over there?
Yeah, I'm fine. I got to ruin your day, so that's
Always fun.
Okay. I don't know which way to play now. Let me go here. I'm swinging away. Voodoo Cadillac.
yes.
I did not have that one.
All right, goes into the combo though, and we are officially out of New Trash Protocol.
Yay.
Yay. Heart attack, heart rate can go down. Feel okay. Worst case scenario, the 7 that are in our conversation automatically fill out our list.
Right. Yeah.
All right. Sam.
All right. I am going to go with another song that a friend of mine is crazy about. My House Has Wheels.
No.
Nope.
Nope. Okay.
Definitely one of the ones that was on my radar.
Yeah.
Though.
It's probably in some ways it's a guy singing about his RV basically.
Mhm.
So it's maybe not quite, he's not singing about his trailer. He's singing about his RV. So it's maybe not exactly in the lane.
It's adjacent.
Yeah,
Close.
exactly.
It's very close. Well, again, that's kind of why it was on the radar. So, like, yeah, this is what they do. And
Yeah.
then again, like to Jenny's point earlier, it's picking which ones
Yep.
in that lane.
Right.
All right, Jenny,
Let's see if I can continue screwing things up.
there's nothing to screw up anymore.
That's true. That's true. All right. Then I'm going to go with Strangest Ways.
Didn't have that one.
Nope.
Oh, I love that one. It's just kind of, I don't know what you call it, like almost punk-ish kind of sound, and it's just like a dance kind of, I don't know. I love it.
I'll have to go back and give
My
that one
baby's
another
got the
shot.
strangest ways.
Probably just one of those things where I just kind of passed it by. I've got 3 from that same record. So let me trot one of those out. How about Shotgun?
Didn't have it.
Nope.
Now's the time for misses. Now's the time for misses. I'm all right. All right, Sam.
So I'm gonna go with one of my favorite songs, bar none. So this is risky.
Yes.
So drum roll, please. Put your teeth up on the windowsill.
Oh,
Yes, I have it.
Okay, she saved you.
You didn't have that one?
It was on the radar. It was on the radar. And if I had to guess, it was probably like top 25.
Yeah.
I find that song totally hilarious, and I probably had heard that album, but for some reason it didn't jump out at me until they played it at the block party, and I can just remember cracking up and thinking, I can't believe they just sung that. You know?
God, that's a great element to a band, though. Like if I saw the Frogs, like I would get that same. I can't believe they're in front of people singing this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Jenny.
I don't know how I skipped this one earlier because this was a little bit higher on my list, but this is another one of the earliest ones I heard of them was Too Much Pork for Just One Fork.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Nope.
And I like, okay, so I guess they have like a remastered or like a re-recorded version on Spotify. And I think at some point they had the original and it just, I don't know if they just, discontinued or whatever, but I really prefer the version that's on the EP. I think that's the one. Yeah. I think that's the one. Yeah. It just, something about it. Like it's just kind of dirtier and,
right.
It fits with that sleazy kind of sound, the food sex theme.
Yeah. The fooding sex.
I hate it.
All right. You know what? I'm gonna trot this one out. I don't know who I'm gonna hit here, but we'll find out. Damaged Goods.
Oh.
I did not. I considered that one strongly, but it didn't make my list. I think what's great about that song, for this particular setting, is that it sort of expresses that character. The character of the white trash dude living out on the edge of town and kind of having romantic problems and if I'm remembering right, it's like I don't know if he's saying we're both damaged goods or I'm damaged goods. Do you remember?
I think it might be both.
But yeah, it's definitely that sort of sad sack in the best possible way.
Yep.
Kind of a theme.
Was that a no for you too, Jen?
That was also a no, yeah. I remember looking at that one, but it was tough,
It always is. It's never easy. All right, Sam?
Let's see. I had Cheap Motels.
Yes.
No.
That's another hilarious lyric, I think.
Yeah. They really paint a picture with that whole song, and I just love anytime that there's a story being told.
Right. There's a line about the Gideon's Bible that's never been opened.
Yeah.
He's describing the scene as a cigarette burn on the table next to the bed and the Gideon's Bible that's never been read.
Again, I'm scrolling past it here somewhere. Which album?
So it's on the Liquor It Up album, if that helps.
There it is. Duh. Now, again, I mean, I don't feel bad for not having it because it was absolutely on my radar. Just sometimes you got to make the cuts.
Yeah. Again, it comes down to like which ones strike you as this is the one I like of this kind of theme.
All right. And just for clarity and to put it out there, I think I'm down to 9. So we're roughly about halfway through.
I have more than that.
All right. It is your turn. Trot one out.
Okay. I'm going to go with Roadside Wreck.
Didn't have it.
No.
Nor did I. For some reason, that one isn't sticking out at all.
I'd like to put it on Drive Too Fast and then get tickets.
Oh.
I was actually listening to Southern Culture on the Skids when I got a ticket in Virginia
really?
Beach. Yeah.
I can see that. I can imagine that might have been a contributing factor.
All right. Where am I going to go here? How about... I'll trot this one out. This is off of the Kudzu Ranch. Again, I was pleasantly surprised because after Mojo Box, I'm like, okay, well, now they're done, right?
Right. No.
No. Nope. It's another solid record. I had a whole bunch of choices, and no. And this is one of them, Bone Dry Dirt.
Oh, no. No.
I didn't have it, but I remember liking that song.
Okay, so I was right about it, just not right enough.
I feel like that one was supposed to be. Remember how I was saying like I wanted to kind of fine tune some of the later selections? That was one of the ones that I probably would have made it.
Dirt, bone. I felt like it was different enough that it obviously stood out. I'm able to sing it right now.
That may have actually been on my first cut, and then I kind of like rearranged things.
It's
yeah.
okay. I mean, it happens. I'm wrong.
Like my top 10 was easy. Like I wrote it in pen and I didn't scratch anything out. The back 10, I had to like keep redoing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, again, it happens. I'm not going to cry about it. Maybe. All right, Sam.
All right, so I'm going to go with another Mary Huff song because I don't know if we've had another one by her. I really love this song, Just How Lonely. It's like kind of a pure pop song. It doesn't necessarily fit super well with the white trash theme, but super catchy and God, she sings it incredibly well. So much so that I can't believe, like, why is she just a bass player
Right.
in Southern Culture on the Skids? You know, she could go to Nashville and, you know, have a career, I feel like.
Well, I mean, that kind of speaks to her as a person, though.
Yeah. She's doing what she loves in this band that she's been with for forever. So, yeah. I don't have it, though.
Nor do I.
Oh, well.
This well thought out. All right. Jennie.
Then let's see if we can get one with her voice on it. I don't think it's going to be that one, so I'm going to skip that one for now. I'm going to go with Firefly.
Oh, nope.
Didn't have it.
I should have known that was not going to be the one either. But yeah, I was really trying to find the ones that I really liked her voice, and she gets to show off her voice. Apparently that was not the one that made it through for you guys either. I'm going to be sad if we don't get any from her, though.
Yeah, I think we ought to
Unfortunately,
have one.
currently, I don't know which ones are her looking at this list, but I'm looking at this one. We'll see. Love-A-Rama.
Didn't have it.
Oh, I have it.
All right.
That was a real late ad.
All right.
I think that was one of the ones I scratched out something else, and then I scribbled that in, and
Into the combo.
it made it.
1, 2, 3, 5, 7. All right, Sam?
So let's see. I'm going to go with a song that I hope I'm successful with. Soul City.
Nope.
No.
But let me I'll just
Sell
mention part of like why I put it on there. It's a good sort of funky song, and it also has North Carolina roots. So there was this black community in North Carolina called Soul City. It was like an intentional community. I think it eventually failed and withered away, but that song, it's like it speaks to North Carolinians. Like, you know, basically anybody outside of North Carolina would be like, all right, so it's a good funk song, and it describes like people dancing. And I don't remember if that's the one where he talks about it might be a different song, but you know, I don't care if your dick is big or your dick is tiny. Do you remember that line?
Yes. Now that you said that, I remember that. I'm going to go back and listen to this song because, like, I'm not from North Carolina, so I didn't get any of that meaning. I'm really glad that you know,
it's
gave
raunchy.
us the history on
It's
that.
a raunchy funk song, and there's like a crowd. Soul City, soul. But anyway, yeah, it spoke to me on several different levels.
I think I remember looking at that one thinking that I wanted to keep it on the list just because it was a different kind of sound from them. But ultimately, like, I made some choices, and I don't know if they were the right ones.
Well,
You know?
that's why we're here. So, you know.
Figure it out. All right, Jennie.
All right. Well, let's see if we can get some ladies singing in here. The other one I have from her is I've got two more. So fingers crossed. Bad Boys.
Oh, no.
No.
I did like that song, but it's not on my list.
I mean, I think that one speaks to me on a personal level too. So
Yeah.
ladies love jerks.
Well, All right, I'll find that later. How about Lordy Lordy?
Didn't have it.
No.
Right, into the trash then. That's fine. All right, Sam.
So I'm going to throw out another Mary Huff song. Not because it's my favorite Southern Culture song, but because I think it is a signature song, and I think it would be good for somebody to be introduced to the band. House of Bamboo.
Oh no.
No.
Okay.
No. I remember looking at that. I mean, it was so tough. There were so many times that I was like, I want to include this, but like I kind of did it sort of like when I did with Two Man Gentleman Band, where I just wrote the ones that absolutely have to be there first.
Right.
And that filled out 10, like easily. And then it was that second half that I'm like, now what?
Again, not trying to persuade anybody, but
I think that's why we're here.
there was a period where they were sort of flirting with like loungy
Yes.
sounds, and so that does kind of represent the cheesy cocktail lounge.
Yes. It had a real 60s, like swanky kind of vibe to it. And I remember thinking that I almost included it just because it was so different for them. And sometimes having something that's really different on the list can get somebody's attention.
Right.
And
it does show that they have a range, even though they've been very consistent throughout their career. They've been consistent in like 5 or 6 or 7 different ways.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Songwriting, sounds. Yes, absolutely. All right. I wish I knew which ones were which here. How about Nitty Gritty?
didn't have it.
No, I love that one though.
I'm just striking out on
God.
this back half. All right, Sam.
So looking at my list, what have we not? We're sort of getting to ones that are a little bit.
We're getting to the nitty-gritty.
I'm feeling less passionate about, but from Ditch Digging, I had The Little Things.
Nope.
Nope.
All right, Jenny.
Let me fire off my last Mary song, and that's "Fire of Love" from Mojo Box.
Oh no,
Didn't have it.
No, no.
All right. How about High Life?
Nope.
Didn't have it.
That was like probably top 40-ish for me.
So it wasn't that far off. All right, Sam. I'm down to my last 4 here.
So for Mojo Box, I had Smiley, yeah, yeah, yeah.
No.
Nope.
No.
Oh, jeez.
Missing left and right.
We're getting down to it, man.
Yep. Jenny.
I'm gonna go with Corn Liquor. That was my Bell selection.
I ain't got it.
Didn't have it.
I ain't got it.
I mean, it just it fits their theme,
Yes.
the white trash drinking theme.
How about this one? Mud Buggy.
I
Nope.
did like that song, but no.
Okay. I it's always encouraging that it was close. Like whenever I get the blank stares, I'm like, oh.
I don't know that there's really any way to go wrong with this band. Like you could, I think most of the time I never really listened to their albums. I just had a playlist with like all their songs on it, and I just hit shuffle and, see what comes up because everything that they do is fantastic.
Yeah. Oh, super consistent.
All right, Sam.
So, this is a song that's very different from the rest of. It's almost like a ballad, which that's not really their main thing, but $5 Shoes. Nope.
Nope.
Not surprised, frankly, but I do love it. It is that same character, that sort of backwoods poor guy character, but in more of a contemplative mode.
Okay.
Which you don't usually think of from Southern culture, but maybe that's why it stood out to me because it's
Right.
It's
Well,
different.
and again, now's the time for those ones that you feel like kind of just need to be in the conversation, whether they make it or not. All right, Jenny.
Shoot, I think my last 2 are actually instrumentals. For Lovers Only.
Oh no.
Didn't have it, but I do like that.
That was actually my last ad. I actually erased something else. I don't even know. I can't read what it was, and I'm kind of glad I can't because I'd probably be mad if it was something else that missed. But I kept thinking about that. Like, it just has that real, like, 60s vibe to it. And there's, like, nothing to it all except that then he's just like, for lovers only.
Yeah. Yeah.
It definitely was on my radar. I don't remember where it dropped, but it made that first cut. Whatever that ended up being. I'm just gonna blast out these last three and see if I hit you guys, and then everybody can kind of clear out. So I've got C.W. James, O.O. Spy.
Nope.
O Spy.
Oh God, it was close for that one too.
All right.
Well, top 40 anyway.
Yeah. Earth Mover.
Nope.
Hitting on Nothing.
No.
Appropriate. Very appropriate there. All right, Sam, you want to clear out what you got?
Sure. So, I love this instrumental Jack's tune.
Oh,
No.
It was one of these that had escaped. Like doing this, going back and revisiting their catalog. I was like, holy shit, that is a beautiful instrumental, beautiful guitar instrumental. So that made it onto like this other playlist that I was like, you know, it's like a gem, a hidden gem for me in their catalog. And let's see, the other song I had that we have not mentioned already is I guess that's really it. I have a song called Tidewater Jack, but that was not it wasn't in play. Yeah, it wasn't in play.
Yeah.
So.
okay. All right, Jenny, you want to clear what you
I
got?
don't know how this happened because I thought I had like a bunch that were left, and then all of a sudden I only have one left, and that's Rumors of Surf.
Oh,
no.
that I love that because it goes back. It might have even been on their very first album that you have to go to YouTube now if you want to listen to like that Johnny Cash singer.
Oh, okay. I'll look that up.
I'm pretty sure "Rumors of Surf" was like one of their earliest songs.
Yeah. Okay.
I always love this kind of thing. Plastic Sweat got the most play. There's only 5 songs that we didn't play from it.
Wow.
That stuff interests me.
And it's funny because like that album, I remember looking at it and thinking like, I don't know that I've ever listened to this album straight through, but I may have had the most songs from that album on my list because I, just put everything on shuffle and listened to everything. And those are the songs that I remembered, but I never just sat down and listened to it straight through.
What I liked about that album was the polish. Like,
right.
You take what they're doing and polish it up a little bit, and it's like, oh, okay. And I think that's what stuck out to me because I'm pretty sure I had the most from that album too, but where it's just like maybe the album before and the album after were all kind of like centrally I had these are the ones. So
yeah, definitely had the most polish, or one of the ones with the most polish because that was their major label era.
See?
There.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense. All right. Well, you know what? This isn't as bad off as it might have been. It started off hot. We got 3 8-piece box, biscuit eater, and liquored up and lacquered down. So we've got alcohol and food covered.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind. How many do we have here? Let me see.
But we did do a lot of dancing around the same themes.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
So
there's 11 that we need to get down to 7.
I was going to say that should be easy. And then I'm like, no, it's not. It's going to be tough.
Well, I mean, my immediate go-to here is Losing the Cover. Daddy was a preacher, but Mama was a go-go girl.
I'm okay with losing it as long as we keep a Mary Huff song. So if we haven't,
So let's go through and make sure that we have one.
I'm not sure that we have any other ones.
Let's make sure we got one. So here's what we have left. Mojo Box, My Neighbor Burns Trash, Camel Walk, Double Wide, Banana Puddin', Love-A-Rama, Voodoo Cadillac, Put Your Teeth Up on the Windowsill, Too Much Pork for Just One Fork, I heard that sigh, Cheap Motels, and Daddy was a preacher, but Mama was a go-go girl.
so now we don't.
Oh my God.
So
don't
that's
have
got to be the
another
one then. Look,
It does 2 things. If we were to include it, it does 2 things. It's an obscure cover, and almost all of their albums have a surf instrumental on them and an obscure cover. So it checks that box, and it's a Mary Huff song.
Right.
So,
and also it sounds enough like them that I didn't realize it was a cover at all. Like I didn't even think to go, I wonder if that's a cover.
Right.
So
It's not like, I mean, I actually considered including this was the cover of Come As You Are.
yeah, same.
Just because of the fact that, like, it's something that could draw people in. It's like somebody who would never listen to them, they might hear that and say, like, oh, shit, that's the surf cover of Nirvana song, like,
That
as an
is
instrumental.
hilarious.
Like,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
Yeah. All right. Well, if there's no objections, maybe we just made the case for it. It went
I think so.
Like that's the fastest something's went from the cutting block to in.
I mean, the sad thing is that, like, compared to all those other songs, like, it hurt me to think about cutting all those other ones. But I feel like it's important to check those boxes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
I think it's good.
So, is there anything else that from that list that you feel like has to, or is there anything that's sticking out as well? I guess that can probably go.
From the maybe list there, there's too much pork
Too much pork's on there.
on
Yeah.
there. I feel like that would be a good one to include, but maybe
Yeah.
it
I'm
doesn't.
with it.
Okay,
I was thinking Camel Walk needs to be there.
Okay.
I'm good with that too.
All right. So that gives us 6. So
I mean, they have a dance that goes with it when you go to the show.
Oh,
like,
right.
it's kind of a thing.
so it's a thing for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, obviously, at this point, I don't think with a sound like this, I don't think album representation even comes into the
No.
conversation. So we still need 4 more. Let's think about some that we can cut here. So let me put them via record. Not that that matters. Mojo Box Double Wide, My Neighbor Burns Trash, Banana Puddin', Love-A-Rama, Voodoo Cadillac, Put Your Teeth Up on the Windowsill, and Cheap Motels. Is there anything of those that feels like, okay, it's made it this far, but I don't think it's good enough to make the 10?
I'll be honest with you. I don't remember Love-A-Rama, so that's the one that I would vote for. But you guys might feel differently.
I mean, it was pretty much one of my lower tier ads. So.
It was for me too. Like I said, I think that was the one that I scratched something else out and put that in at the last minute. So, yeah, go ahead and cut that one.
All right,
I mean, we have to.
Something's got to go. Is there anything sticking out to you, Jenny, that either way that you feel like
I kind of want
preferably a cut.
Mojo Box.
in?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I'm with it.
I mean,
had it.
it's probably my favorite song, like just a personal favorite. It's just got a lot of energy and it's got balls. I like balls.
Me too. I plan on keeping mine. So.
Are you with? Because I think you were the odd man out on that one, Sam.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
All right, let's do it. Do it. That gives us 7. All right, not a lot of. So let's look at what we have to figure out what we need still. 8-piece box, biscuit eater, liquored up and lacquered down. Daddy was a preacher, but Mama was a go-go girl. Too much pork for just one fork. Camel Walk, Mojo Box. So we have 3 food songs.
Yeah, I was gonna say if there's any food left, I think it's probably easy to cut those.
Yeah, it's be a little repetitive.
Yeah. Let's,
Oh no, is banana
It's
pudding
banana
going?
pudding.
All right, well, yeah, I can accept that, I guess.
something's got to hit the cutting room floor. All right. Do we have white trash well enough covered, do you think? Alcohol, liquored up and lacquered down. I don't know that we have. I mean, other than sound-wise, I don't know that we have it covered at all. 8-piece box, biscuit eater, liquored up and lacquered down. Daddy was a preacher, but Mama was a go-go girl. Too much pork for just one fork. Camel Walk, Mojo Box. We still have double wide. My neighbor burns trash up here as far as like straightforward white trash in the theme.
I think between those, I like My Neighbor Burns Trash,
Okay.
and I don't think I had either one of them. So
Mm-hmm.
All right. So let's go with My Neighbor Burns Trash because, like Sam mentioned, it's got that character. So that gives us what, 8? I think.
I think
Yes.
so. I can't. It's early.
Looking over your shoulder, I would be lost if I wasn't looking over your shoulder.
We got to lose 2 of these. Double wide, Voodoo Cadillac, Put Your Teeth on the Windowsill, Cheap Motels. I know.
So I love double wide and cheap motels both. Of course, Put Your Teeth Up on the Windowsill is a personal favorite. I think it's hilarious. You know, it
Do
might
we
not.
cover
It might.
hilarious?
What's that?
Do we cover like anything like that's just straightforward funny?
Yeah.
I don't
Never
know.
Burns trash, kind of, but I don't think it's in that same vein of just straightforward funny.
Outrageous. It's kind of outrageous. So, but I don't know if it's I'm not sure if it's an audience favorite or what. I don't know how you feel.
I'm a little iffy on that one. I was gonna actually make a case for Voodoo Cadillac, just because it has a little bit more of like the psychobilly kind of sound, and I
Okay.
don't think we have anything that maybe Mojo Box, I guess, might be in that vein, but I don't remember there being anything else like that up there.
Okay, that's good. That definitely that sound needs to be in there.
I have a very short attention span, so feel free to correct me.
So, well, you know, if you want, it's right here. Just get a couple seconds of it.
God, it's like, I mean, it's just their sound.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think this is the one that reminds me of the Weird Al parody, the Weird Al original version of them, you know.
It's got that swampy sound.
Yeah.
All right, so that's that. So we're gonna make it worse here.
Uh-oh.
We're gonna make it worse. What else do we need? That's Voodoo Cadillac. We need double wide. Where she be? Maybe I should just gone to my list since I know it's in there. Fine, don't. Whatever. What do I care?
God, Justin.
There's just so much here.
There is so
Okay,
many
so here's
songs.
Cheap Motels.
Oh, God, this song's so fun, though. I mean, as much as I like it, I feel like maybe we have this kind of sound and this sort of thing covered.
And then here's double wide. It never helps. It
Oh, that's
absolutely
Oh,
never
God,
helps.
this song is so good, though.
Got the 60s thing going on there.
Yeah.
And then,
Oh, man.
yeah, like I said, this never, ever, ever, ever helps. But it's set up. Might as well do it. And then put your teeth up on the windowsill.
Okay, wait.
Two
God,
zums
Justin.
has got to go.
How do you keep getting me on this show? You're torturing me.
It's painful. You know, I love all those songs. So it's
Okay, so
I could flip a coin.
now
I guess.
that I've listened to that, I changed my mind on Voodoo Cadillac, actually. I think it's close enough to like Mojo Box kind of sound that I think we can lose that.
All right, so let's lose Voodoo Cadillac. All right, so that makes it between double wide, Cheap Motels, and put your teeth up on the windowsill. One's got to go.
Yeah, this is like
Uh,
killing your children here.
this is like a Sophia Loren's choice.
Do you want to weigh it against what we have? Do you think that'll help?
Yeah, if you don't mind, just read the ones that we have.
All right, so we have 8-piece box, Biscuit Eater, Liquored Up and Lacquered Down. Daddy was a preacher, but Mama was a go-go girl. Too much pork for just one fork. Camel Walk, Mojo Box, and My Neighbor Burns Trash.
I'm going to stick with what I said a minute ago. And as much as I like Cheap Motels, I think the other two kind of it gives a little bit more of different types of sounds
Right.
from them. It covers the humor value, you know.
Yeah, I could deal with that. Yeah, double wide is different than the other songs that we have on there. It's a little more straightforward in some ways, and you know, and that's gets to something that I do love about them. So, you know, they do parody, they do you know, backwoods poor Southern parody, but they do it affectionately. So,
Yeah.
like double wide, I was thinking, just like listening to it the other day, that it's almost like it could be in a musical. Like if you had a musical, a jukebox musical about white trash life.
Yeah, yeah.
It could be a song that's at the scene where people are talking about like getting out of the city and moving back to the country, and it's like affectionate. That's what I was. That's my point.
They're not punching down. They're
No, not at all. I mean, they're definitely dealing with stereotypes, but in a sympathetic way. It's you never feel like they're belittling people.
Yeah, they're not looking down at anybody. Like they're kind of like, hey, no, this is fun.
It's actually almost celebrating. Yeah.
Yeah.
all right. So double wide, and then that makes for the last spot. Put your teeth up on the windowsill. Cheap motels.
I say put your teeth up on the
All
windowsill.
right.
and-
Okay.
All right. Let's lose cheap motels and put your teeth up. So this is our 10. 8-piece box. Biscuit eater, liquored up and lacquered down. Daddy was a preacher, but Mama was a go-go girl. Too much pork for just one fork. Camel walk, mojo box. My neighbor burns trash. Double wide, and put your teeth up on the windowsill. And I feel like this is one of the few times where I don't think anybody's feet are going to the fire. I think 8-piece box is the one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's it. It makes the most sense. So 8-piece
Yeah.
boxes are number one with a bullet. So I guess now's the time where we talk about when are you coming back. Take a look at the list, Sam. See if there's any other bands you want to hop in on.
Oh, sure. Yeah. I was looking at what you guys had already done, and I was like, man, I should have been involved in that one, and I should have been involved in that one.
It happens.
It's tough.
So,
yeah.
what do you remember a few that are coming up?
There's so many. I can't keep the ones that are coming up like as far as recording soon are Sarah Bareilles and Nas, and we're doing Pearl Jam live this coming week, and what else? Fall Out Boy and Squirrel Nut Zippers, which Squirrel Nut
Oh.
Zippers is Jennie.
That's my next one. Okay. I guess-
Coincidentally, that's another Chapel Hill band, and
Makes sense.
I'm just
they-
gonna move to Chapel Hill.
they started a little after I was away from Chapel Hill, but one of the guys, Tom Maxwell, in that band, we palled around. So
Oh.
yeah,
Your claim to fame.
yeah, Tom.
Lame claim
We
to fame.
painted over the summer. We painted dorms together. We were on like the dorm painting crew, and so there was a lot of music listening while you were painting. And so he introduced me to a lot of music. And Tom was in a band called Teasing the Korean, which was like nothing like the Squirrel Nut Zippers. It was like he was a drummer. He played drums in Teasing the Korean, and they were kind of like a glam hard rock band. So I have a lot of good Tom Maxwell stories, but
Sounds like he needs to just join us on the panel.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be a 4-person panel, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
But yeah, I love the Squirrel Nut Zippers.
All right,
and-
I'll
and
add you to that.
so-
That'll probably happen either later this month or early next month.
Let's do next month.
Yeah. With everything that's going on.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Jennie, you're here for Squirrel Nut Zippers for sure. St. Vincent will get put together here soon.
I forgot about that one.
Yeah, well, it was.
I'm looking at all the ones that sadly just have my name next to them on the list. I've got L7. I really want to do L7. Also want to talk about them on the show.
Heyo.
Amy Mann.
Ah.
Arctic Monkeys. Who else do I have? Mojo Nixon. I don't remember signing up for that one, but I'll do it.
But you put it out there like
That was
very
probably
early
another
on.
early, yeah.
And
Okay.
you're like, you know what? F it. Mojo Nixon. And I was
Mojo,
like, okay.
yeah, he's a Virginia boy. So
Ah. All right.
Oh, and there's a bunch of names I haven't even seen. I don't know where that came from. All right. I'm going to jump on some of these. Find some more shit.
All right. Well,
Mojo Nixon, man.
so with that being said, Southern culture on the skids. Learn them and love them, people. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.